In the early 2000s, a brutal family murder inside a Woodlands apartment shocked Singapore. The crime made headlines for weeks. But what disturbed residents even more were the things that reportedly began happening afterward. Neighbors claimed they heard crying near the lift, landing long after the apartment had been sealed. Some said heavy furniture moved by itself in empty units. Others refused to return home alone after midnight, and even today, residents still avoid speaking about Block 852. Residents say the murders happened during a stormy week in the early 2000s. Police vehicles reportedly crowded the car park before sunrise. Entire sections of the block were temporarily sealed off while investigators moved in and out of the apartment for days. The details of the crime spread quickly across Woodlands. Parents warned children not to wander near the unit. Some residents claimed they could still smell incense and bleach in the corridor weeks later. But according to several longtime neighbors, strange incidents began only after the apartment was emptied. One of the earliest stories came from a resident returning home after a late shift. According to her account, she heard a woman crying softly near the lifts. At first, she assumed someone was injured, but when she stepped closer, the crying stopped immediately. The lift doors opened. No one was inside. She later claimed the sound resumed only after the doors closed again, this time from directly behind her. Within months, more residents began reporting disturbances. One family living 2 floors below claimed they frequently heard dragging noises after midnight. At first, they blamed renovation work, but the sounds continued even during quiet hours. Heavy scraping, slow impacts against the floor. One resident later described waking up to find their dining chairs displaced across the living room. Another claimed a metal cabinet shifted several inches overnight without explanation. Most refused to file official reports. They feared becoming associated with the block. The rumors intensified after residents began discussing strange elevator behavior. Lifts reportedly stopped at empty floors during late hours. Doors would open for no visible passenger. Some claimed the lift occasionally paused at the murder floor longer than normal. One former resident described seeing security footage where the lift doors repeatedly opened and closed by themselves past 3 a.m. No official footage was ever released publicly, but stories about the recordings spread through the estate for years. Years later, one former resident agreed to describe what she experienced. She claimed she returned home around 1 a.m. after visiting relatives. As she exited the lift, she noticed water dripping along the corridor floor. But there had been no rain that evening. She followed the trail toward the staircase landing. Then she heard soft crying again, not loud, not aggressive, just exhausted. She later said the sound felt wrong, like it wasn't echoing naturally in the corridor. According to her account, the crying led toward the staircase. She stopped near the landing between floors. And that was when she saw it, a figure standing motionless in the dark. Too still to be a resident, she couldn't make out the face. But she remembered the outline clearly. Bare feet, head lowered, clothes appearing damp under the emergency lighting. She backed away slowly and took the lift down again without returning home that night. Today, Block 852 appears completely ordinary. Families still live there. Children still play beneath the void deck. But longtime residents say certain parts of the block remain unusually quiet after midnight. Some refuse to use specific stairwells alone. Others still avoid discussing the murders entirely. Whether the stories were born from trauma, fear, or something else entirely, the unease surrounding the block never fully disappeared. In Singapore, most ghost stories fade with time, but some places remain attached to what happened there. Residents who lived through the tragedy say the atmosphere inside the block changed permanently afterward, not violently, not dramatically, just enough to make people feel watched when the corridors fall silent. And even now, some claim that if you wait near the lifts after midnight, you may still hear someone crying